Hello. Welcome and welcome back to another episode of Templar Up. I'm your host and your Templar, Urban Reed. And thank you for surfing the wave with me, because I'm surfing the wave with you. And today what we're going to do is we're going to immediately get right on into it. First and foremost, I want to say, Shalaki, my apologies for being late with the drop, but I wanted to make sure that, we still get the drop this week. Today I had, or this week rather, it was pretty rough for me. I was pretty worn down, worn out. Just mentally and physically, my back went out and everything, pulled a muscle. And so I was kind of forced to kind of sit down and fall back, just let the body heal. And with that being said, I fell back, and was surfing the wave, and I'm glad I fell back, because there was a lot that's been popping off in the last couple of days, and we're gonna dig into it. It put me in my passion, and passion unchecked is not a good thing. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to see things with reason as well, and balance, and I think it's important that we do so, and I want to make sure I present this in a way that, how can I say, I hope I present this in a way that no matter where you are, it can prove itself to be effective for you to know and understand moving forward. In a lot of ways, it's sad, but it hurts. It hurts. But Shalaki. But it's a part of the process, nonetheless. All right. First, let's take care of business so we can take care of business, right? You know what I'm saying? So, if you're getting these on the YouTube streets, do your thing, like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? If you are, getting this, in the ether off the app, you know what I'm saying? Surf the wave challenge 5 nights a week. Tell a friend, share the app. And if you at home rocking, or what have you, make sure you come to 432thedrop.com and surf the wave how you wish to surf the wave, and also at the same time support the wave. Please do, because it seems to be that now more than ever, with understanding the code and keeping the code, our people need to get this water, get this mim sauce. No matter how you digging on the vibration, continue to support the tribe as always. You know what I'm saying? We're coming in hot with supporting what we do and how we choose to crystallize. Now that we got that excuse me, taken care of, I'm sorry, y'all. It's like dropping snow outside. It's been cold. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been fighting through it. All right. So what we're gonna do today? Today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about a war to win and winning the war. A war to win and winning the war. And I'm going to first start things off with an example of something here. We're going to talk about something that has recently popped up, and as always, fair use, all up in your caboose bone. This is definitely going to be for criticism. I'm definitely going to comment. Okay, I'm going to teach off this. You know what I'm saying? This is for scholarship and research. Okay. Now this drop that we're going to dig on here is Newsmax host licks racist cops boots. Okay. Now this here is the Young Turks. This was published here on April 12th, 2021. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this atrocity. But there, as far as the narrative is concerned, there's other outlets and sources that would probably paint the narrative better. But I wanted to use this particular one for the reason of what it shows, the imagery, and it's the imagery that I want to for us to take a look at and break down to start things off. Okay, now we don't need to hear it, because I want you again to see what goes down. And again, fair use. Okay? Now, when this all pops off, right? This all pops up. And I want you to understand this is talking about, I'm still talking about, I'm going to break down the Picto-Paleo and keeping the code. Now, what's the first rule? Exodus 20. Put no power before your power. Right? Put no power before your power. Now, understand something here. Understand that right now, just kind of a quick come up here. Let's do it this way. The situation goes down like this. This is the narrative. This guy is driving down the road. He has tinted windows. His license plate, he has some temporary tags. Is taped up to the back of his car. As he drives past, the cops pull up behind him. They don't have, and they can't see any license plate. Okay. Now, my understanding, if you ever have been down in the South, there's a different type of dark when it comes to at night. You know what I'm saying? And I can't explain it if you've never, it's something you have to experience. But yeah, it is a different type of dark in the South when it comes to nighttime. So for his safety, as well as for the cop's safety, he drives to a well-lit area. Okay. Now, that aside, these cops come up, and he immediately has his arms out the window with his hands raised, trying to understand what's going on and get some clarity to what the situation. Okay. Now, when we're talking about man with arms raised, right? Take it to the Picto-Paleo. I want you guys to really see this and really dig on this, because what you're witnessing is a ritual. Okay, what you're witnessing is a ritual. Now, he is in the melanated brother, right? He is in the hey position, right? Hey, what's going on? He's a man with his arms raised. Look, reveal the breath, right? He's in the hey. Got it. Okay. Now let's go back. Now, you see, and I want you to understand something here. We're talking about that Bill Cooper, okay? And I'm glad that we've been digging on colors and the code, okay? Or Templar, what do you mean? Now, we dug on the fact that pale can be both this green that he's in, or pale meaning the quote-unquote skin of the cop. But when we dug on it, there's two different types of pale, right? You get the blank or blanc or white pale, and then you get the this yellowish green, right? The other type of pale. Okay. Now, we're talking about behold the pale horse, right? We're talking about buck breaking. Okay, but this is a ritual, and we are talking about Max Spears. He is activating an altar in this man, and that altar is in fear. That's off of mind spell barrier. Let's go. Now, notice what he does. Now, he is forcing him to do what? Bend the knees, right? He's forcing him to do what? Bend the knee, right? Bend the knee. Bend the knee. That's what he wants, right? Sparta time. When Leonidas shows up in front of Xerxes, he tells him, yeah, all that stuff is great, but I can't, that bend the knee thing I can't do. You know what I'm saying? Again, Molon Labe. All right. Now, let's go back. Now, with his arms raised, he is put in a state of confusion, right? He's put in a state of confusion, right? That state of confusion is to elevate his serpent, his fight or flight. Okay. This is a fear spell. Now, once he does that, again, he has him bend the knee. Now, why is that important? Because now he's capitulated, right? Now, what's the next thing that you see him do? Now stop. Now he's on all fours. Cynocephalus. Right? He's on all fours. Now, remember the definition of a dragon. Right? Right? Talking about it being a man, but it's also a genus of an animal. Right? With all fours. Okay. Now, let's continue. Now, at that point, he handcuffs the gentleman, right? He handcuffs the gentleman. Let's go back to the Picto-Paleo. He handcuffs the gentleman, right? Now we're talking about what? He's put the man who had his arms raised, right, now is a man with his arm and closed hand. The work, the throw, he's been what? Thrown down. He's been forced to do what? Worship. You see that? He's been forced to worship. Okay? He's been forced to worship. Now, what are we talking about? Well, when you dig on it, right? They activated, or the ritual is to activate the sod, right? That Sade, the journey, the chase, the hunt, because it's about race. Okay? It's about race. Okay? You follow? All right. Now, let's dig on it. Because it's always been about war, right? And it's been about war on you since they got here. Brother King brung out the whole entire list that they've been warring against you since they got here, right? It's always been popping off like that. And they ain't stopped. And we got to see why. Now, first, let's dig on it before we dig on the etymology. Let's dig on it by the Webster 1828, right? Let's get it by the definition. Because the timeline matters, and this is all recent. And it's more recent than you know. And hopefully I'll be able to get to that. But if not, I'll bring it back to you guys next week. Okay. Now, war, by the definition, right? War, to perplex, embroil, disturb, right? Primary sense of the root is to strive, right? Struggle, urge, drive, to turn, to what? To twist. Right? Picto paleo. Right? That's that ga. That's that rope. Right? Right. Okay. So when we're talking war, we're talking about the ga. Okay. Now what is it? It's a contest, right? Between nations or states carried on by force, either for defense or for revenging insults and redressing wrongs, for the extension of commerce, right? Or acquisition of territory about that land, right? Sparta time. Remember what he said. You want me to bend the knee, and you offer slavery and death for the land and water, right? Or for obtaining, establishing superiority and dominion of one over the other. These objects are accomplished by the slaughter or capture of troops, all right, and the capture and destruction of ships, towns, and property. Now, when he's talking about ships, he's talking about all ships, right? He's talking about admiralty, right? So that includes what? Relationships, right? Right? All ships, man. All vessels, because we're talking about the vassals. Right? Swan Knights. Among rude nations, war is often waged and carried on for plunder. So, if you're making war for plunder, you are a rude nation, right? As war is the contest of nation or states, it is always implies that such contest is authorized by the monarch or sovereign or the sovereign power of the nation, right? The sovereign power of the nation. That means it's either the king or what? the Most High, or the quote unquote God, right? When war is commenced by attacking a nation in peace, it is called an offensive war. And such attack is aggressive, right? Such attacks are aggressive. When war is undertaken to repel invasion or attacks of an enemy, it is called defensive. And a defensive war is considered justifiable. Let's get that back. Let's take that back. When war is undertaken to repel invasion, okay, or the attacks of an enemy, it is called defensive. And a defensive war is considered justifiable. We're only talking about the chessboard, standing on your square. You know what I'm saying? The white pieces versus the black pieces on the chessboard, right? The light pieces versus the dark pieces. Who goes first? Who's the aggressor? It's always the white pieces. So who is always fighting a defensive war, which is a justifiable war? The black pieces, right? Very few of the wars that have, what does it say? Very few of the wars that have desolated nations, right? Abomination of desolation, desolated nations, and deluge. Now we're talking flood, right? The earth with blood have been justifiable. Very few wars that have desolated nations and deluged the earth with blood have been justifiable. What few is he talking about? He's talking about Joshua. Remember when the different what was it, Moab bent the knee? Also did it with David. Also did it with Solomon. Happy would it be for mankind if the prevalence of Christian principles might ultimately extinguish the spirit of war and the ambition to be great might yield to the ambition of being good. Now I'm glad we dug on what it means to be good, right? Right. Now this here is a pretty interesting line, and hopefully you'll see why. Okay. Because he's talking about Christian principles. Now he's talking about Nestorian principles. We're talking, in any case, preparation for war is sometimes the best security for peace. All right? Sometimes preparation for war is the best security for peace. Now you understand why they don't want the so-called Negro armed. And it's not just here. It's not just here. It's everywhere. It's America from the North Pole to the South Pole. It's in Africa. It's in Europe. When it comes down to the quote-unquote Aboriginal. In poetic language, right? Instruments of war, his complements of stores, and total war. Poetically, forces, army, right? Or the embattled rank, the waves return and overwhelm their war. The profession of arms, art of war, as a fierce man, what? A fierce man, right? Of war. A fierce man, a dragon of war. Isaiah 2 and 4, right? Which is what? And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their sword into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Right? All right. I'm glad we dug on. What was it? I want to say it was First Kings, right? That First Kings 8. Hostilities, right? State of opposition or contest, right? Act of opposition. Enmity. I shall put enmity between thy seed and the serpent seed, right? Disposition of contention. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Psalms 55 and 21. Man of war in naval affairs, a ship of large size, right? Armed and equipped for attack or defense. Holy war, a crusade, right? A war undertaken to deliver the Holy Land or Judea. Now, is the Holy Land different from Judea? Right? Are we talking, again, there is a Mesoamerica or Mesopotamia going on, right? And when you look at the chakra lines, it's when it comes down on the earth and how it lines up, yeah, it makes a lot of sense, right? These holy wars were carried on by most unholy means. Right, yeah, it was unholy. Right, we're talking about invasion, right? We dug on it, right? Because when we're talking about the crusade, right, the first crusade popped off, they even tell you, and hopefully we'll get to it, but if not, you can dig on it. But when you dig on the crusades, they tell you the Knights Templars were created in 1119, and then everything popped off. They got circumvented by the Pope in 1930 something. I mean 1139, like 20 years later. But they were already popping off well before. And the thing that they were popping off against was the invasion, the very first crusade. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with these pilgrims trying to come to a holy land. We dug on that. Let's see here. Let's go back. So, to make war or invade or attack a nation or state with force of arms, to carry on hostilities, right? Or to be in a state of contest by violence, right? He teaches my hands to war. 2 Samuel 22:35. They war against the Midianites, right? Numbers 31 and 3. Okay, why should I war without the walls of Troy? To contend, to strive violently, to be in a state of opposition, lust which war against the soul, right? To make war upon, as to war, the Scot, right? Declaration of Arboroth, right? To carry on a contest, right? That thou mightst war a good warfare. Okay. Now let's take it to the etymology, and we're going to go into the dismount. All right. I'm talking about war. I'm sorry, it was this one. Talking about war. Okay, it's a large-scale military conflict. Okay, war, right, from Old French. Difficulty, dispute, hostility, fight, combat, war. All right, from the proto-Germanic warza, right, waron, okay, to confuse, perplex. From the Pi, wars, to confuse, mix up, right? The original sense is to bring into confusion, right? When it comes down to Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian, whereas are also from Germanic. Romantic peoples turned to Germanic for war word, possibly to avoid Latin bellum or bellicose, because it tends to merge bello, meaning beautiful. There is no common Germanic word for war at the dawn of historical times. All right. Old English had many poetic words for war. Whig, right? Remember, it's the Whig Party. The Whig Party became the Republican Party. All right. Healed. Okay, all common and personal names, but usually translate Latin bellum or Gwyn, right? Struggle, strife related to win. Okay. Now let's dig on this real quick. Now, the first recorded wartime is late 14th century. Warpath, right? 1775. Originally referred to North American Indian as war whoop. 1761 war paint. 1826 war dance. 1757 war crime is attested from 1906, and let's see here, war chest. 1909 war games, and Kriegspell, right? Kriegspell on all these dates plays, and and it looks like we're coming up hard on the 30-minute mark. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fall back, and we're gonna come back with a part 2 and pick up exactly where we left off here with war. Okay, because we're only talking about war. You know, we gotta win the war, and war is winning, and make the connect for the dismount. So thank you for surfing the wave with me, because I'm surfing the wave with you, and we'll bring you back for part 2. Halel Hawa, Halel Hawa. Peace.